for it. Come on, no. I just have to laugh more and more every time I think of those characters.
Lips hanging down to the floor.
I know when they do that weird ass dance that only cartoon black characters can do.
And we at EXP believe in Black Lives Matter. So with that being said, welcome back, gamers, to the Experience Points Podcast. I'm your host, Cyrus, aka Zero Sin, and I am joined by Eric, aka Blackout, aka Vitamin E, aka the Mega Man legend.
Hey, I like that.
Say what's up, bro.
What's up?
And today's date is August 15th, 2020. Today on the show, we are going to be talking about the potential leak for the PS5 and Xbox Series X release dates, as well as a little bit of Halo Infinite being delayed, even though we really don't care about Halo that much. But that's neither here nor there, so that's going to be a short conversation. And in the open discussion, we're going to talk a little bit about some of our pet peeves in games, amongst other things. And stay tuned to the end, because we're going to play some Smash, and we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun. What's been going on with you, Jones?
Nothing much. You know, the same old, same old. The new Final Fantasy 14 Stormblood patch dropped on Tuesday, so I've been doing that a little bit. It was supposed to come out like a month and a half ago, but you know, with the pandemic and all that other stuff, they're working, developers and stuff are working at home, so it got delayed like a month and a half, but it's okay. The story's great still. It's got a lot of fun stuff going on.
Sweet.
And of course, Pokemon.
And of course, Pokemon. Of course. I have literally tried this past week, for the sake of you and Kevin, to jump into Final Fantasy 14. I know you guys say it's not that bad, but every time I see those menus, my freaking balls start to itch. I swear to God. Every single time.
It's really not that bad. Trust me, it is nothing to have anxiety about. It is a very casual game. I mean, there is more hardcore content, but very casual players can play that.
Alright, I'm going to tell you the truth. I had nightmares about menu systems everywhere around me. I woke up in my dream and there was menu systems everywhere and I couldn't move. So that's how bad my anxiety.
I think playing Sword Art Online would probably be worse off. That's got some menus in it.
I got
Did you
you.
ever play any of the Sword Art Online games? I know, just a quick question. Did you ever play one of the ones that were like on PlayStation 2?
I have not.
Not PlayStation 2. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Dot Hack that was on PlayStation 2.
Ooh, good old Dot Hack. That was the game right there.
I enjoyed those.
No, I've never played Sword Art. So.
Well, I heard Sword Art games are kind of fun too, but I've never actually played one either. I have like all of them, I think.
All right, moving on to news. Nice. That was too awesome. I'm excited about this. Blackout will be our live transition jingler from now on, so look forward to that, folks, because that's going to be fun. First up in the news, let's get the easy stuff out the way first. Halo Infinite has been delayed, and I think it was the right decision, because that sumbitch looked like a PlayStation 2 game. Not even joking.
Oh man, I can't. I didn't even see it, but how you talked about it, it had to be bad.
Oh my God, it was terrible. There was somebody that posted a meme. I'll try to find it and post it here. It was a meme that had The Last of Us 2, and it was a split screen, The Last of Us 2, and it said PlayStation 4 with 5 or 8 teraflops or whatever that was, and then it says Xbox Series X, and it had a picture of the freaking guy who flew the plane, and it says 12 teraflops.
Nice.
And the freaking the Last of Us 2, I know you haven't played it yet, but The Last of Us 2 was incredibly visually stunning. And a lot of the times I would just stop and just stare at the characters, because you can see their individual pores and whatnot. You can see the individual hairs on one of the main characters' face. And it was insane. But then you look up at this other guy who's supposed to be on the Series X. And it looks like somebody's like smeared his face in Photoshop with paint. It was so bad. It was so bad, poor baby.
It's like Animal Crossing, but trying to be realistic.
Have you ever been a Halo fan?
I used to love Halo. Like the original Halo on the original Xbox was great. That was the best Halo. And Halo 2 was good. It had a good story, but the original Halo was definitely best for like the multiplayer. And then Halo 3 was okay, and then pretty much every Halo's just gone downhill.
I see. Yeah, that's been the general consensus around the office. Every time I hear somebody talk about it, that's exactly what they say. All right.
It's just not what it used to be.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, that is life. So the Xbox Series X controller, Series S controller, got bought by a bunch of people online, and turns out that that's how they found out that the Series S was real, because Xbox has not announced that thing yet at all.
Wow.
Yeah, so somehow the controller got out there in the wild, and it's legit because it has the brand new share button on there, and the form factor is just a little bit different, but it's definitely real. So on the box it said that this controller is dated for November 6th. So I mean, that's pretty much it. And then they also found, I forgot what it was, but they found something else that suggested the PS5 it's going to drop on November 20th. What do you think about these dates?
Well, they do pan in around the time frame that I'd expected them to be, but I kind of feel that once Sony here, if it's true, I feel that Sony might actually move the date a bit closer to the Xbox. I'm not saying they'll do it the same day like I don't know if they've ever actually had an exact same day, so maybe they won't. Usually Sony just kind of does what it wants to do, so maybe they will keep it that way. Either way, it's about the time that I'd expected it to be. I actually expected it to come out a little before the 20th though, because that's like literally the week of Black Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that it comes out early October. I'm hoping these dates are wrong. I mean, I really don't care about the Xbox Series X because I still have my Xbox One, and actually just recently signed back up for Game Pass because there's a couple of games I want to play, including A Plague's Tale, which I just did an episode on. Check it out; it's pretty good. But that's what they're pushing. They're pushing Game Pass. They're not really pushing the Series X. They're saying that almost every game that you can play on the Series X, you could play on Xbox One. You know what I'm saying? So those first-party titles are coming to Game Pass. So I mean, if honestly, that's all you need. And if I want to save some money, I'm not gonna go out and spend $400 or $500 on the console when I can play these games right here.
PC, or play it on your PC, play it on your One. Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's really no point for it.
Exactly. But the PS5, November 20th, there's a few things coming out around that time. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is coming out around that time, and I believe Cyberpunk is coming out around that time. So I'm definitely getting those games for the PS5.
Yeah, I was going to say the plus side to that, it means that you might get more launch titles if they're pushing it that late in the game.
So between PS5, Miles Morales, Assassin's Creed, and Cyberpunk. I mean, as far as Cyberpunk goes, that's not really one I have to get.
You'll get it, but you might not necessarily get it on day one. It's just like,
Exactly. So I might just wait, or I might spend the $60 instead of the $70 to get it on PS4, and then do the free upgrade program.
Oh, are they actually an extra? Wait. Okay, time out. They cost $70 games now.
Yep. Well, that's not officially confirmed from all games. The only game that's confirmed to be $70 now is NBA 2K 2021, whichever year that is. So that's the only game that's confirmed to be $70. But I mean, if you think about it, it's it's a brand new generation.
But we spent $60 for generations already. At $70, that's just becoming borderline crazy, because then you have to add in the tax to that.
By the time PS8 comes around, it's gonna be like $120 per game.
By the time PS8 comes around, you're gonna need a freaking some kind of a law degree or something to afford these games.
Yeah, it's definitely been it's been interesting. I'm just waiting to see what happens. I mean, even if they go up $5, it's not that much more money, honestly. It's not that big.
It isn't individually, but when you think about the long run of it, like, you know, let's say you want to go, let's say like 3 games come out at the same time, you know, they're paying already, that's like, oh, I'm going to pay $180 plus tax, but now you're paying $210 plus tax,
Yeah.
and the tax is going to be higher. I don't want to think about that.
That is true. That is true. But you and I admittedly view money very, very differently.
Oh yeah.
Which is fine. But I mean, if I have to pay $10 more to get, you know, the highest quality game on the next gen console, you know, and having that experience, I'm more than willing to do it. You know, especially with the PS5 and all that they're offering with the controller and that experience. I mean, I know that everybody's not going to take advantage of that, which is another reason why I might get some games on PS4 aside from PS5.
Oh yeah, you're definitely right, because especially those first like generation of titles, a lot of times they do not take advantage of any of the features.
I mean, it's always 1 or 2 games that do it in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Because the PS5 is actually being bundled with that Astrobot game, and that game promises to take advantage of every single aspect of the controller. I'm not sure if you saw that presentation with Jeff Keighley, but
Pretty sure we had a video about it.
But he actually played the game, and yeah, we did. We played the game. He played the game, and he showed off the controller and how it felt and what it did. So that game for sure. When I got my PlayStation 4, the 2 games I got first was Infamous Second Son, which I wish they would bring that damn series back because I missed that series so much. Infamous Second Son, and what was that spaceship game that came out for it?
Spaceship game. You mean the one that was the math game? Or?
No, it was like a side-scrolling spaceship game where you basically just went side to side and you shot up the other spaceships. I can't remember what it's called right now. But anyway, Infamous Second Son definitely took advantage of the DualShock 4. There was a mini game in there where you use the triggers to basically mimic a spray can, and you had to do graffiti, and that was really cool because you can actually aim the controller and spray the graffiti. It utilized the trackpad as well for the map, which most games did, but that's one of my most hated functions in any game, is because you always hit that trackpad and the map always popped up, like even if you barely touched it. Or there were some games that if you swiped it brought up the map, and I don't know how many times I accidentally swiped that damn thing. In fact, I think it was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, even though that's one of my favorite games of the past year and a half. But every time you accidentally swipe the trackpad, the menu would just pop up. Yeah, the trackpad was definitely was underutilized. But I will say that Ghost of Tsushima, that game definitely did a fantastic job of utilizing the controller, because if you swipe up, you can bow, which is useful. If you swipe to the left, you can actually play your flute, which is really cool. Swipe to the right, it does something, and then down does something else. I haven't played the game in a couple of weeks. I've been kind of on an other game binge, but but that's like the only game in recent memory that really did a good job of utilizing the trackpad. But even then, that damn thing is too sensitive, because it's the same thing. I'll be fighting somebody, and I'll be in the middle of an attack, and I'll like miss the left analog stick, and I hit the freaking left part of the trackpad, and I'll bow mid-fight. Like, damn it, that's not helping anybody.
I know. Man, another example, Final Fantasy XIV. That thing is horrible on the PS4. Like, I actually just legitimately had to disable it, because it's basically supposed to make it like a mouse But that thing just does. It's like you don't know. You're in the middle of doing one thing, all of a sudden a mouse thing, and then you can't move and everything. I'm like, what? No, I had to disable that. It was just no. I couldn't deal with that.
Definitely hit when games do that. Try to be like that fake ass mouse thing. That's not helping anybody.
It's horrible.
Ain't helping nobody, bruh.
Nobody at all.
Well, that's it for the news. I'm actually really excited about the dates coming up. Hopefully, they drop the legit date soon. I know that PlayStation is supposed to have another state of play this August. It's supposed to come before the end of August, and I think the same thing for Xbox. So I mean, we will see what happens with that.
They have to give release dates by now. I mean, come on, this
way too
normally
close.
You know at least 6 months in advance. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is definitely, and I think they're doing it just to have the conversation about it. That's exactly what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They want people to be talking about it and anticipating it, and they want the world looking at them. And there's no better way to have people look at you than not doing something. You know what I mean? Especially being that huge big name, when everybody's expecting you to say something every single week and chomping at the bit just to get the smallest little piece of news.
Exactly. Well, all I can say is they better have the supply, because you know the demand's going to be high. I don't want to hear none of that crap. Oh, we didn't think there was going to be that big of a demand. Oh, well, maybe you should have gave us the pre-orders before the end of August.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that the pre-orders don't happen when I'm like at work or something like that.
Exactly. I don't want to be screwed out of getting it because, you know, they're just waiting until the last minute, and it's like you're going to be lined up at Target at 5 a.m. in the morning, and who knows how that's even going to work with how 2020 is.
That's definitely not going to happen the way it is. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Everything's changed this year. Yeah. We're so looking forward to coming down and being there with you and Greg while we got our systems.
That'll be fun.
Damn it. Oh, shit, I still might do it anyway. Anyway, alright, moving on to the open discussion. What game was that from?
Mega Man X1.
Oh, yes, this sure was. Nice. Very interesting rendition, my friend. Well, with the coming up, hopefully eventually drops of the consoles this year, I wanted to head back and just chit chat about our previous consoles since we've been alive and gamers basically. And what was your well, we're going to talk about consoles over the years and how we got them, but I'm going to head back to your very, very first console.
I'm gonna get like I had an Atari and that stuff, but that's like kind of don't remember how I got it. So we'll talk about the Nintendo. Nintendo was a Christmas present, because you know Christmas. That's when that's how I got most of our stuff early on in life. But yeah, Christmas present.
Well, that's how we got it when we were kids, and friggin' waited for a year for one game to get one game. Had no idea what was out, no idea what was coming out. You just when you got a game, you got a game. I'll talk about my Nintendo games when I get to it, but my first system was Atari 2600, and I remember my mom brought it upstairs because at the time we lived with my mom's boyfriend, and she bought it in our room. She set it down. She was like, "Here, have fun." I'm like, "What the heck?" I'm like, "What the heck is that?" I had no idea what the hell it was. Never heard of it. Never seen it. So I remember she also bought up. This is kind of a nasty story. So if you guys have any triggers, I'm going to cover your ears for the next 30 seconds or so. It was a hot ass day. We were staying. Our room was in the attic.
Oh.
And she bought the TV. She bought the Atari. I remember playing Tank, Pong, and Pitfall that day. Those were the 3 games I had, and I cycled through all of them really fast. But she also bought up White Castle and a freaking milkshake. All right.
Oh no.
You know what's coming. It was August in Chicago, so it's freaking hot. It's humid. I'm in the attic. All the heat from the house is rising up there. I had this tiny ass fan in my window that blew the more hot air in. The freaking milkshake went from cold to lava in like 3 seconds. I was greedy as hell. I ate all those burgers, all those fries, and I even drank that nasty ass warm milkshake. And everything was on a tray. I swear before sweet baby Jesus, I threw up everything. And I'm sitting there watching myself throw up non-stop. I got the Atari controller in my left hand. I got the tray in my right hand trying to catch all this throw up. I'm still going. I'm watching the tray fill up with puke. I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I started grabbing the cup that the freaking milkshake came in. That fills up. I started grabbing the small boxes. That didn't do anything. So for like 25 seconds, I was just throwing up straight. It was nonstop. It was definitely a bad experience. Even though I did love the Atari, but that's one of my earliest memories of gaming.
Oh my goodness, that's like that episode of Family Guy when they all take that stuff.
They all took that Epicac and they just let it loose. That's funny.
And at the very end, Lois, who wants chowder?
In my case, it was a freaking warm milkshake. Who wants a warm milkshake? Yep. So after that, you know, I definitely enjoyed the Atari.
Warm milkshake again.
For real. I definitely enjoyed the Atari for what it was, and I had a great time with the system. I played Raiders of the Lost Ark. I played E.T. Even though the game was the worst game ever made. It was terrible, and it wasn't about. I mean, obviously back then graphics were the non-issue, because they were, you know, they just weren't a thing. It was just all about the little gameplay, little experiences that you had with it, and I would definitely rate Atari as one of my favorite systems just because it was so much fun.
It was fun. It was fun. I had the Coleco Atari. It was a weird kind of an abomination. It had the ColecoVision that linked with a version of the Atari. I didn't even understand the math of this. Like, I just had this thing. Like, it was like the first add-on I've ever hit in my life.
Nice.
Like, I didn't even realize the Coleco was separate from the Atari until I'm older. Like, wait, so I was playing some kind of a double console. I was like, okay, all right. But yeah, it had a lot of fun games. I had like Donkey Kong Jr. Or was it Donkey Kong 2? No, it was Donkey Kong Jr.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pac-Man. I had some racing game. I can't remember the name of it. And I was always bad at racing games, but that was just the beginning of time right there. But it was fun.
My I never played the ColecoVision, but my second system was the Nintendo, and I think my mom got it from one of her friends because her friends had kids, and you know we grew up really poor, so you know we had to get our stuff like secondhand. So that's just the way it worked. So a friend of hers was selling it because she needed money. Actually, you know what? I know what it was. Her kids had did something bad. That's what it was. Excuse me. Her kids had did something bad in school. So the mother sold the kids Nintendo.
No more Nintendo for you.
Yeah, for real. So we got it. And, you know, of course, you know, the first games of Mario and Duck Hunt. I remember
everybody get that game.
I remember having track and field with the pad. We had the Power Glove. The Power Glove was so freaking awesome. Oh my god!
I never had a Power Glove.
I'm shocked at that.
As a kid, I was sad. I wanted it so bad. Okay, you gotta realize, back in the day, I was spoiled, but I wasn't super spoiled. And since I couldn't buy my own stuff, you know, I was kind of limited to certain things.
I gotcha. Yes, the Power Glove was really, really awesome, and I had a great time with track and field. I used to cheat. I used to lay down and smack it with my hands. That huge pad that had the freaking numbers 1 through 8 or 1 through 12 or something like that, and it was two sides. It was one side was red and one side was blue. Mm-hmm. And me and my brother would always go head to head with that thing, and we definitely had a great time. Some of my greatest gaming memories from Nintendo is Mario Bros. 3.
Oh, that's everybody's favorite. I mean, one of their best memories.
That game just it opened up so much for me as a gamer. You know, it helped me become the good platformer that I am today.
I used to be a good platformer back in the day.
The games like Blaster Master, you know, it changed up the formula and it showed that you can do like little small cutscenes in there. I never seen that before. That was awesome.
Ninja Gaiden, bro. But yeah,
never played a Final Fantasy game. I played Blaster Master before I played Ninja Gaiden. So
wow.
yeah. Like I said, a lot of my games are secondhand. They just appeared out of nowhere a lot of the times.
No, I understand, but like, you know, back then I had a decent amount of games, but I did not have that many. Like I played a lot of my games for the first time from friends. I was like, first time I played Mega Man was Mega Man 3 from Trey, and then the first time I played Ninja Gaiden was either Trey or Alex. Like
wow.
they broadened my horizon a lot on games.
That's a beautiful thing. I would always go to my uncle's house. You know, he's passed away now, rest in peace. But I always go to his house, and the grown-ups would stay. It was always on a Saturday, and the grown-ups would stay. We would get there at like noon, and we would not leave until like 1 o'clock in the morning. But thankfully, his son, he bought a Nintendo for his son, and his son had like maybe 10, 12 games. So, you know, I would always go over there and just play all day long. Definitely good times. Definitely.
I think we've all had those, like, you know, that the friends of the family that you always end up getting going to their house, but luckily they have kids your age, so you know they like become some of your good close friends. You know, video games and all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I have friends like that too. Although they had more like, I think they had. Did they have? They didn't have a Super Nintendo for the longest. Oh, they had a TurboGrafx 16. Yeah, that's
Wow.
right. Nice.
That's not old school.
Well, that was been around the Super Nintendo time frame, because I remember that Christmas I got Super Nintendo and they got a TurboGrafx 16.
No, that answers my next question. I was going to ask you how you got your Super.
As always,
Christmas. Good old Santa Claus.
Yep.
Until you found out Santa was not real and your heart was broken.
No, but I did try to milk it for a couple years when I did find out it was you. Okay, I was like, so I want Santa to bring me this. I want you to give me that. That didn't work out too well, but I tried.
That's hilarious. My Super. I remember the damn thing being used for sure. Because
it had that faded brown.
It was faded-ish yellow as hell.
I hate that.
But I mean, it still worked the damn same.
No, it works fine, but it looks so pretty when you first get it, but then it just gets that dirt color.
Exactly. My memories of the Super, a lot of my memories revolve around Trey. You know, and we have talked about Trey on this podcast before. He's one of our best friends. He's passed away. Unfortunate, he had some kind of disease where he gained a lot of water weight and lost it and gained it back, and his heart couldn't take it, and he passed away very early, very, very early in his life. He had to be like, I think 27, 28, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But he really introduced me to the Super and a lot of those amazing, amazing games on there. Him and I would sit down, him and my brother would sit down and play Street Fighter and Killer Instinct like almost every single weekend. Have freaking just tournaments, hours and hours and hours of tournaments, just playing. Him and I went through Link to the Past together. We actually did that several times.
It's an epic game.
Him and I beat Mega Man X, X2 and X3 together. Just a lot of fantastic memories surrounding the Super, and you know that is definitely in my top 3 favorite systems of all time for sure.
Oh yeah, I love the Super Nintendo. And some of my favorite memories come from, and that's possibly a shame of how greedy I was back in the day. I would literally I would just sit in front of the TV until like 2 a.m. in the morning, watch TV and making like fighting game move sheets, because you know I'm an awesome fighting game person, but everybody else, like, you know, I kind of like, I make like a Mortal Kombat move list for like each character with fatality and stuff, and charge like 50 cents. Or then for like Shang Tsung, he was like a $2 one because of all of his transformations.
That's hilarious. I never knew you did that.
Man, you for real? Like Trey and Alice, all they just bought those things. They bought multiple copies. Sometimes and they lose them. I bet it was a lucrative business I had back in the day.
The young businessman Eric.
Yes, sir.
Definitely got that mentality.
Before I was like educated on how good Oreos actually were, I used to sell all the Oreos. My sister brought them. She like worked at some kind of a factory back then, so she used to like get free products. And she used to always get these Oreos, and I just sell them because I was a Neanderthal that did not realize the love of Oreos, how good they were, because I didn't really care for chocolate and stuff like that back then. So yeah, I was a very big eater back then.
We remember. I don't remember really ever owning a Sega. I know my cousin had a Sega Genesis. And I would go over there, and her and I would play Sonic 2 together all the time, and she was always Tails, and she would always help me out if I died or if I fell.
Right.
Toe Jam and Earl, all those fantastic games in there. Vex, that was another one, another fantastic.
I forgot about Vex.
Man, good stuff.
Did you ever play Comic Zone?
That
was a really good game.
That was fantastic. That game still holds up. I actually have it on my Switch, on the Sega Classics collection.
I bought that thing.
I played that a couple of weeks ago, and it still holds up. What was the next system you got after the Super?
It was either a Game Boy or a Genesis. I can't remember. Actually, no, I take that back. I think I got the Game Boy before I got the Super Nintendo. So we'll just say the Genesis was after the Super Nintendo. I remember I got. That year was nice, of course it was Christmas, but I got like literally every Sonic game that came out at that time. I had got Sonic, like the Genesis itself came with Sonic 2, and I remember having my grandfather get me Sonic 1 from Sears. That's right, I'm going to super old school from Sears. And then my sister got me Sonic Spinball, which at
nice,
first
I love that
very
game.
Difficult game, but that game was very good.
So
I
good.
loved it.
Love Sonic Spinball.
Yeah, it was great times. And then, and I should also forget to mention, we had this old-ass TV. So pretty much every console I got, like, bounced up and down like you having a seizure or something like that because it was so old, we didn't realize how to do things. So we ended up having to send them all in and getting them shipped. So all these systems I'd have to be, like, without them for, like, a week while they get sent in and get shipped and get returned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had that. We had one of those super old school. It was like one of those. It was like a 27-inch TV, but it was like one of those big things. Like it's like on the ground, takes up like a lot of space. You know those TVs.
Super wide, old school.
Yeah.
Big old box
heavy,
TVs.
Yeah. But it was like so old. So it was fun times. But it was annoying when you play it on the first day. You're like, just bouncing. Yeah, I got used to it.
I could not do that.
It was
good stuff. After my Super, we moved a lot after that, so I don't remember playing games that much. I played when I could, but I do remember getting my PlayStation 1 with Final Fantasy 7 and no memory card. I wanted that because I would come over and watch you play Final Fantasy 7, and I want that game so damn bad, and I finally got my hands on it, and I would come home every day. I would play like an hour or so, and I couldn't save it, and one time I tried to leave it on. That was a no-no. I came home. I came home from school because I left it on because I wanted to play. The damn thing was having a seizure on the screen. The screen was flickering and bouncing up and down. I'm like, no! The damn PlayStation was hot as hell, so I turned it off for a full day and I didn't touch it. And then I think like a week later, I finally got my very first memory card, which I still have to this day. Got my very first memory card. And I got some more games, and throughout the span of my PlayStation 1 days, I remember I would always go to EB, and I would always get the $20 game that was there. And amongst those games that I got was Tales of Destiny,
Nice.
Rival Schools.
Nice.
You know, and again, I didn't read the magazines that much. You know, I would go to EB and I would look at the magazines, but I could never afford to buy them. So I would just scan through to see what's coming up. But I was never like into gaming news like I am now. So I basically I would be there for at least a good hour. You know, me and Apocalypse, me and my friend Juan, we would skip school sometimes and we would go. Don't skip school, kids. And we would go and we would just look at the back of cases for like an hour and then finally decide to buy something. So I got Xenogears.
Nice.
Yeah, man, I had some bangers. You know, my first, I would say my first like 12 PlayStation games that I ever owned were all like classic hits. Metal Gear Solid.
Nice.
That was definitely one of my first games I ever played, and I got lucky and I got these games, and they were just all amazing games. I really didn't play too many bad games on PlayStation. I would get the demo disc sometimes, and I would play games on there, and a lot of those games were bad. But the games that I bought and I played over the life of my PlayStation 1, I had almost all, you know, AAA 9 out of 10 games, almost every single time.
No, I agree. Like a lot of all. I mean, there's definitely a few bad ones, but most of the games on PlayStation were good. But before we go to that, let's see. Just order another game. Sega CD. Got it for Christmas. I rented Sonic CD, even though it came with like if you bought the Sega CD, you got a redemption code, so they send you Sonic CD. But I couldn't help it, so I went to Blockbuster, rented Sonic CD, and I practically beat the game before I even got the game.
Nice. I remember I was so enthralled by the notion of seeing Sonic on a disc-based medium, and I never saw it when it came out. You know what I'm saying? I never experienced it when it came out. I mean, I didn't play Sonic CD until like years later. But I did see it in action, you know, a couple of months after it came out. I think it was at your place, actually.
Probably.
And it had those long ass cases.
The Sega CD. Hey, you remember the original PlayStation cases were about that long too at first.
Really?
Why does nobody remember that yet? Like the first 6 or 8 months of the PlayStation 1 had those long cases where they went to just regular jewel cases. Like look up the original Battle Arena Toshin. Then like originally they were the glass ones. That,
actually, you know what? Yep. I definitely remember that now. Because I remember that I used to watch you play Battle Arena, but I would always be looking at and through your collection of games because I was always shocked at how many games you had. Like, how the hell this dude got so many damn games? I ain't got no damn games at home. So I would always be going through your games, and I definitely remember that case now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. PlayStation 2. I'm almost positive that I bought that myself because at the time I was working. That was 2002, yeah? Oh no, 2000.
I believe it probably was because that was the first console that I bought on my own with my own paper.
I gotcha. Yeah, because I was working and I don't remember purchasing it per se, but I remember coming home and setting it up and playing Final Fantasy X.
So you got it that late in?
Yeah.
You got it around Christmas. You bought it around Christmas. I remember Final Fantasy. Well, maybe after that, because I remember Final Fantasy X came out like the week after Christmas or something. It was a weird release date for it.
Yeah, it's definitely weird for a Final Fantasy game. Yeah, but I just remember watching the commercials for Final Fantasy and being just mind blown at how freaking the graphical leap from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 was just literally mind blowing. I was like, look at the faces, and now we look at the faces. It's like,
I know, but it was so epic that the commercial they had for Final Fantasy X was super epic.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely, that's classic. That's good stuff right there. That's
So
good stuff right there, man.
So the story behind my PlayStation 2. So as I said, this is the first one that I actually bought on my own. It was, you know how hard it was to get it. I didn't get it when it first came out because, you know, impossible to find. I skipped school the day of. Yeah, I did. I skipped school to try to go search for it. Was not able. Like, we went to Kmart trying to get a raffle for it. That's what Kmart did for some reason. They raffled like 15. You know, they did like 15 raffles to see who gets it instead of like a line or anything.
Wish they did that now.
Yeah, wouldn't that be? Well, you still have to pay for it, but I mean, they'd have a raffle ticket just to be able to buy it.
I got you.
Be for free, that'd just be lovely. So you know, we searched all over the place, couldn't find it, and somehow in the process of this, my Game Boy Color got this, like, the glass died or something. Like I don't know what happened. Must have like bumped into someone I was walking because it was in my pocket, and the glass got shattered. So the only thing I ended up getting that day was a new Game Boy Color. But so you know, we were looking around. So finally, my friend Clinton's brother used to work at like Funko Land or GameStop. I don't remember where it was back at the time. I did pre-order one from I think it was what was it? It was not Babbage's. What was the one in Lincoln Mall? It wasn't Babbage's. I think it was EB. We'll just say it was EB Games. So I pre-ordered one from there, but you know, I had like a 3 or 4 month wait time on that. So in the meanwhile, my friend, like, he basically hooked me up. I had to pay like an extra $100 to get it on the dark side of everything. But I got it. I was happy.
That's a damn shame.
Yep, yeah. This is what I'm talking about. When there's certain times that I will spend more money than I need to.
I got you. That's funny. Eric,
so anyway,
Blackout doing some shady stuff over here, guys.
Man, no, it wasn't completely. Well, it was.
Yeah, it was. There's no way you could spin that to make it not shady.
It looked like an extra $100 or 200. I think it was 100. Well, anyway, so I got it. Then I went and got X Squad, horrible game, and Street Fighter EX3 plus
Alpha.
Alpha, yeah, or whatever it was called. Actually, I think that one was just called Street Fighter EX3. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. EX3 was actually a fun game, but it didn't have any like legitimate actual story to it. So you know, it was basically just a fighting game. But it was fun. Then you know, I went on to get some other good games after that. Like you said, Final Fantasy X, I think came out that following or the end of that year. You know, there was just a lot of good games. Can't really remember, but like, you know, when it first came out, there weren't that many good games, so I was kind of like just struggling through. But
PS2, my memory of PS2 is mostly using it for a DVD player.
I think that's everybody's use now that I think about it. That was pretty much, I think that was everybody's first DVD player. Because, you know, DVDs weren't cheap back then.
They were not. And it was one way I could watch my special DVDs. How you doing?
No man, I already know.
Yeah.
Let's just say he needed a hands-on approach.
Haha. My use was stupid. A PlayStation 3, I definitely got that with my own money. I remember that day. I actually snapped a picture of the day I got it. I'll see if I can find it. I'll pop it up here. I bought my PlayStation 3 not because it was PlayStation 3. I bought it because Uncharted 2 was coming out. And I remember seeing the trailer for that damn game and watching how cinematic it was. I was like, is that a game or a movie? So I gotta play that. So day one, bam, got that bad boy. I played that game non-stop. And my girlfriend at the time, the game is so good that it's good to watch. That's how you know it's a damn good game. My girlfriend watched me play the entire game, and she was just as enthralled as I was by it. The PlayStation 3, let's see, I still got mine hooked up. One of my favorite things about the PlayStation 3 is that you can download old school games from the PlayStation 1 onto it. The PlayStation 3 has some bangers for sure. It has some hits on there.
Metal Gear Solid, Guns of the Patriots was like the first truly epic game. That was actually the reason I bought my PlayStation 3, even though I didn't get it right away. My very first game I got on PlayStation 3 was Batman Arkham Asylum, and that game literally made me like fall in love with the PlayStation 3. Like the first couple games I just played were like super epic games. Batman, and I think I played Metal Gear after that, and I think I played Ninja Gaiden after that, Ninja Gaiden Sigma. which was a hard game. Let me tell you what. And that was like on the normal difficulty. I can't even imagine those like super hard modes. So I'm glad that game didn't have trophies because I wouldn't have gotten it.
For me, it was definitely the Arkham series. The Arkham series was a staple in the PlayStation 3. But more fantasy based games like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. Those are.
I you love Journey.
And but Journey's PlayStation 4.
No, it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Journey was originally on PlayStation 3. They might have had a PlayStation 4 version, but I guarantee you that came out on PlayStation 3, my friends.
Well, I didn't play it till PlayStation 4.
Gotcha.
So that's not one of my PlayStation 3 memories, but games like that are definitely, on my top list of favorite games of all times. I still play my PlayStation 3 to this day, to be honest, because I still got quite a few PlayStation 1 games that I've downloaded on there that I go back to play. Like some of my favorite RPGs of all time are downloaded on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, there are some good games on there. I wish you could just transfer on your PS4, but I guess it's good to have a USB PS3 still.
Well, hopefully that patent for the PS5 comes true, where they said that there is basically an emulator for the PS1, 2, and 3 housed inside of the PS5. And from what they're saying is it's going to do that thing that the Wii U does. If you put in a Wii game in the Wii U, it loads up the Wii menu, and it basically emulates like you're playing a Wii. So that's what it's supposed to do for the PlayStation 5. I'm just hoping that they pull out a Game Pass move out of their ass and do something like that, where all the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games are all taken off of PlayStation Now and put on this Game Pass like system where you can just pay one monthly fee and play all these damn games for that fee. That would,
or
if they did that,
make it cheap.
What was that?
Or they can just make them like $2 each for PlayStation 1 games or something like that. I would totally pay $2 for a PlayStation 1 game.
I got you.
$4 for like a PS2 game. Hey,
definitely not gonna happen.
They would still make bank. They would make serious bank.
Definitely not gonna happen. This is not Nintendo. This is not Nintendo. It's definitely not gonna happen. But if that patent for the emulator comes out to be true, I mean that's gonna be something else. Barring that, there's always PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now has gotten better because there are certain games that you can download and play. There is a download option now on the PlayStation Now, so that kind of helps out a little bit with that. But you just need to refine the whole system. Anyway, PlayStation 4. 2014. I remember this day vividly. I skipped work that day. I told my wife I wasn't feeling good, so I skipped work. And the moment she walked out that door and drove down the road, sorry baby, I got in my car. I punched it, Chewy, to freaking Walmart, and I got myself a PS4. And as soon as I got home, had everything set up, I downloaded Infamous and that other game I cannot remember right now.
Pre-order it?
Huh? I'm sorry?
To pre-order it, or
Correct.
is it just there?
It was just there.
Nice.
It was just
That's
there.
true. PS4 wasn't that hard to get.
Exactly. I mean, it's not gonna be like the PS5. How about you? How about you and your PS4?
My PS4, I remember because they had like this bootleg pre-order thing at Target. So I bought everything from Target at this point since I had a discount. I had my red card, so that's basically 15% off. And then I had some weird bootleg coupons. I don't know if it worked on PS4, but in general, so I remember going up there, picking up mine and my friends at the times, and then I didn't actually get a chance to play it until evening time because some booty stuff. I had to go to my grandmother's house, and I was so sad because I had my PS4 just sitting on my bed, just waiting to be played, but I couldn't play it because I was at my grandmother's house. So I'm like,
that would be hell. I would be so mad.
Yeah, I did not get it. Like I bought it, I got it early in the morning. I didn't get to play it until like 7 o'clock.
Whereas me, I got a good 6.5 hours to play my system right away.
And all you had to do was ditch work and lie to your wife.
Exactly. The Xbox, I never had an Xbox One. Just real quick, because I'm not a big Xbox guy, but I never had an Xbox. I did play Xbox at Juan's house because he had one. Xbox 360 I did get, but I only got it because I wanted to play one game, and that was Crackdown. Crackdown is still one of my favorite games of all time. But after I beat Crackdown, actually no, I never beat Crackdown. I was like right toward the end, and I got the Red Ring of Death. So I just traded it in, and then I got some other stuff. Xbox One, I actually just got. Well, actually, that's not true. I tried to buy this damn system 3 separate times over the past 5 years, and every time I bought it, I would have it for a day and I would take it back. But late last year, I bought an Xbox One because I wanted to play Ori. And Ori is definitely one of my favorite games of all time. I know I keep saying that a lot, but Ori is an amazing game. Ori and the Blind Forest, and then I resubbed on Game Pass for Ori and the Will of the Wisp. And that's the only reason I have my Xbox. But my Switch, I remember I left home here at 5:20 in the morning, and I drove to Target, and there was like 7 people in line already, and I waited 45 minutes to an hour for the doors to open up. And then I went inside, and they asked me which Switch I wanted, and I regret getting just a regular gray Switch. And to this day, I still want a Switch with the black and with the red and the blue controller.
Oh, that's what you meant. I was thinking, damn, a special Switch.
Yeah. But I got the gray one, and I brought it home. Actually, I had to go to work. I'm sorry. I had to go to work, so I went to work. And my job is such where I can be a little bit more relaxed. So I actually hooked up my Switch at work so I could play it during lunchtime. But the Wi-Fi was too slow, so I couldn't get things hooked up. So I had to wait till I got home to actually play it. And then, the rest is history. I got Breath of the Wild. That's the only game I had initially for a good 2.5 months on my Switch because I didn't need anything else. That's definitely one of the greatest games of all time. And even 3 years later, I still play it, every once in a while. It's still
3 years already.
Fun and amazing. Yeah, it's been 3.5 years almost.
I was 2.5 years, man.
3, brother, 3.
I'm just gonna say I did not get the most use out of my Switch until this year. This year, in the last year is when my Switch just got a lot of use. But going back to other stuff, since you mentioned a lot of console stuff now, let's see. The original Xbox I remember because Xbox and GameCube came out the same day.
Oh shit! I forgot about my GameCube.
No, not the same day, but it came out on Friday and a Sunday of that same weekend. So I remember waiting in line overnight. That's right, this is old school. Overnight at Best Buy. I was like number 9 in line or something like that with my friend at the time. And then, of course, I have the best luck in America because I got a jacked up Xbox. When I've told you about this, I'm sure, but some games work fine. I got Dead or Alive 3 and Halo was my starter game for the original Xbox. Dead or Alive 3 worked fine. Had the nice bouncy. Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. I gotta tell this quick story because if I don't, I'm gonna forget. But the first time I saw Dead or Alive 2 was at your place on PlayStation 2, and you were you were downstairs doing something, and it was on the pause screen, and I unpaused it so I could see the boobs bounce up and down. Continue.
Oh man, okay. And also, it might have actually been the Dreamcast version because I don't know if I actually had Dead or Alive 2 hardcore, but I definitely had the original Dead or Alive 2 on Dreamcast.
I got you.
But anyway, so yeah, I remember waiting in line for the Xbox. Like I said, I got the bad version of it where some games fine, but Halo, it looked like you were on some kind of acid, basically. That's what I'm gonna say. I felt like I was taking acid trying to play that game. I can't even describe how messed up it was and how in my brain I actually thought this was how it was supposed to be until I went to my friend's house to play Halo and people looked like humans. the cars look like actual cars. Like you get into Warthog, like it'd be lit, like when you're not in the Warthog, it looks like a piece of junk. But when you get in the Warthog and start driving, the wheels are like literally like spread out. Two of them are like above you somewhere, and then the other two are like 5 feet in front of you, and it's so weird.
Oh, Lord,
And we played this game. So finally, when I found that out, I was like, okay, something's wrong with my Xbox. So I tried to return it like 2 or 3 times to get it. I returned the game. I was thinking, oh, it has to be the game because my other game works fine. So I returned Halo like 2 or 3 times to Best Buy, and it still messed up. So then I realized it was a console. So then I spent like the next 3 or 4 months, just sending my freaking Xbox in. They fixing it, but they're not really fixing it. As soon as I play Halo, it's messed up. Send it back. Send it back. I did get some cool.
You have had some really bad luck with consoles. I'd say you have been the most sending this in person I've ever met when it comes to consoles.
It makes no sense at all. Like it makes no sense.
Poor baby.
And so like finally, like 3 months later, I finally got my Xbox working. I have some cool. I got like a cool hat from it. I love that Xbox hat. I don't know what happened to it anymore. It was like one of the skull hat caps. It was nice. It was green and everything. It was cool. Like, but yeah. So that's my story of Xbox and the GameCube. We were going to go sit out all night and wait for it, but then like there was nobody anywhere. Like, and then a security guard came out because we were waiting in the car. He's like, "What are you guys waiting for?" Like the GameCube. Like, is it coming out tomorrow? Yeah. So then we just went driving to a 24-hour Super Kmart. We just walked in there and bought it. Like there was no wait, it just had like, what color do you want? Okay, here you go.
Anticlimactic.
It really was. It was so anticlimactic because nobody wanted the GameCube. Yet I think the GameCube was a really good console in its own right. What was the first game I got for it? Oh, Luigi's Mansion. Enough said. Yes, that was a great game.
You know, it's funny because I never played Luigi's Mansion until it came out for the 3DS. That's the only time I ever played it. I never played it on GameCube. And I forgot to tell my GameCube story and my Dreamcast story. I got my GameCube when I was with my ex, and one of the first games we got together was Pikmin. And we played the holy crap out of Pikmin together. We definitely beat that damn game. I cannot wait for part 3 to drop on the Switch in October. I'm excited for that one. And then I played Mario Sunshine, of course. That was definitely an awesome game. I played Resident Evil 4 on there. I remember playing that game. I have these instances in my life where I discover my favorite music artist and play my favorite game at the same time. I don't know how it's always worked out that way, but Resident Evil 4, there's a band called 3 Days Grace. It's a rock band, and it's one of my favorite rock bands of all time. But I would listen to 3 Days Grace and play Resident Evil 4, and the music synced up perfectly every single time. It was crazy. The GameCube was a fun little system. I really wish that they would bring those games back out for the Switch. You see, to bring a brand new virtual console on section to the eShop and have Nintendo, Super 64, and the GameCube. Just bring all that back. Let us buy it, port it to the frickin' Switch. Just do it. Just do it. It's not that hard. Do it. Damn it. Bastards. Anyway, we have had enough gushing over consoles. A lot of great memories, a lot of great times. Now, moving on to This Week in Gaming History.
I trust that.
That's okay. Let's see. 18 years ago, 2002, in Japan, released for Game Boy Advance, Mega Man, and Bass.
Nice.
All right, I actually got a lot of good games came out this week. I'm gonna send this to you so you can see. Mega Man and Bass was definitely. I'm gonna preface this by saying I love Mega Man 8. Mega Man 8 is one of my favorite Mega Man games of all time. I'm not the biggest original Mega Man fan. Those games are way too hard for me. I mean, if I tried, I could definitely beat those damn games. But they're just that's the era of the hardcore, insane Nintendo games that you play now. And it's like, how the hell did I ever play these damn games back then? But Mega Man 8, Mega Man 7, Mega Man 8, and Mega Man and Bass were definitely in my top list. I actually think I did a episode of Retro Gaming Sessions with Mega Man and Bass. I'm almost positive. Yeah, check that out, see if it's there. Did you beat Mega Man and Bass?
Not yet. I've played it. I don't even think I played it yet.
Really?
Nope. I mean, I have it. I bought it on the virtual system, virtual console.
Mm-hmm.
But I never actually. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Hold on one second. I never actually I bought it on the Wii U Virtual Console, I think, or yeah, I got it on the Wii U Virtual Console when we thought that the Wii U console was going bye-bye.
I made so many purchases on that thing. I think I spent like $100 that day on games that I thought were going bye-bye forever, and then the next day it's like, we're still here. I'm like, damn it.
Yep.
That was definitely the wrong eShop that was closing.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard to explain. Like, yeah, I think it's still there to this day.
It is, because I was just on there the other day and I got Paper Mario. And that's the perfect segue because 20 years ago, again in Japan, in 2000 for the Nintendo 64 released Paper Mario, the original. And I've been playing this actually today because I got it. I've been playing this today on my Wii U and actually recorded an episode of Retro Gaming Session, which will be out this week. And that game is. Have you played the original Paper Mario?
No, because I wanted to, but then I was like,
killing me, Jones.
Like Super Mario RPG at all.
You're
Man,
me,
I know.
Me.
There's a lot of games that I've missed.
Yes, there is. Well, this game is a sequel to the original Mario RPG, and the writing is so funny, so clever. It's so cute to see the enemies in the overworld, and you could just talk to them and whatnot, and you could befriend some of them. The battle system is that classic RPG system, so I've been having a great time with this one. I got a few other Paper Mario-esque games for my my 3DS, and I've been playing those, but those haven't been quite hitting the spot. So I've been playing this, and it's been good. It's been good. I would definitely encourage you to go and buy it. I think it's only $10 or $15 on the eShop for the Wii U. So if you want to go and pick that up, I would definitely encourage you to do so.
And you said it's on the Wii U one or it's on the Switch one?
It's on the Wii U eShop.
I'll look in there because there's still some games I want to. There's a lot of games that I have to go back and play that I bought that I just haven't done it yet. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. 11 years ago, 2009, for the DSi. Remember that console? The DSi was Flipnote Studio. I do have a little bit of experience with Flipnote Studio, even though I can't draw to save my life. But it was actually fun to doodle and do little stick figure fights with that thing. Have you ever played Flipnote Studio?
Nope. I've really never even heard of that one before.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's definitely a cult classic. And speaking of classics, 29 years ago in North America, August 13th, in 1991, released the Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's like the best history ever right there.
And with the fantastic launch titles of Super Mario World.
That's the only game you needed.
And
Pilot Wings.
F-Zero.
Damn it, right. Yeah, you're right. It is F-Zero. And I didn't get that game for like 2 years after it came out.
I got both of those games. Well, I can't say I got both of those games. It's not true. I played both of those games when I first played the Super. It was actually it was Super Mario World first for sure. And I think Street Fighter was second, and then I played F-Zero. I remember I used to always get the pink card because it was always the fastest. But I felt if Trey was around and Alex was around, I would never pick the pink one because I didn't want to pick the pink card being the boy. But then when I was alone, I picked that pink card. That bad boy was fast as hell. I won all my races with that bad boy.
I sucked it on F-Zero.
Yeah, driving games are not your forte, my friend.
No, they're not, even though I had fun as hell playing Mario Kart.
Yes.
I think that's the only one I've even had a chance in because it was a weaponized kart.
Yeah, definitely had a good time with that one. Which I definitely want to play again. You know, we're going to be playing some Smash here a little bit later to end the episode with. I definitely want to play some Mario Kart in the future with me, you, and Kevin when he gets back. Okay, August 14th, 31 years ago, 1989. Lord, I was 8 years old. Ay. Released the Sega Genesis. The Sega Genesis dropped out. And I don't. There's a picture of Altered Beast on this photo, so I mean, obviously that came with it. I don't remember what other games came with the Sega Genesis.
Altered Beast was a launch title.
It's on the box.
Ah.
It's on the box, so I'm assuming it was. That's definitely not the first game. I mean, I played Altered Beast in the arcade. I remember that. That was for sure. But yeah, I mean, that was a fun game anyway. Crazy ass sound effects in there. And 33 years ago today, in 1987, released the original Metroid for the NES.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. 1987. I remember that damn box.
I remember that box too.
It's good stuff. And I remember seeing it like this is going to be a fun adventure, and it was. It was. That was the best thing about playing those games back in the day, was that you had time. You know what I'm saying, to just go through these games and just enjoy every single bit of the game. And you know, we don't get to do that as much now because there's so many titles dropping all the damn time that, you know, me personally, there's very few games that I enjoy every single inch of. And I think the last game for me was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Was, you know, since I've gone through it twice. It's just I love every single inch of that game, and I definitely explored every single inch of that game. So anyway, Metroid was definitely one of those games for me back in the day. Anywho, with that being said, we are going to end the podcast there, and I want to thank you guys for joining us. And this has been a great episode with just me and Blackout, the original two, the OGs.
OG?
And remember, folks, look out for each other. Stay safe out there. Keep on doing what you love. Even if it's not making you any money, who gives a crap? Just do what makes you happy. As long as you're hurting nobody, obviously. And as always, gamers, keep on
leveling up.
Da 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 da.